Are you wondering what will happen in the Super Rugby quarterfinals? Check out this video. Hi guys, welcome back to Skinnybru Rugby. So this weekend there are 4 massive games lined up for us and I just can't wait to see it. Just to already tell you, I am going on leave for the next week or so. So I'll be posting something for the recap next week. I'm gonna struggle, but I'm gonna do my best to actually get a video up. Let's get into the games. The first game on Friday is the defending champions, the Crusaders, going up against the Highlanders. The Highlanders, they are kinda in their final swan song because a lot of their players are leaving after this season. So they are probably lucky to actually be in this spot. They did play pretty poorly most of the season, but they will probably go out and give everything and give it their best shot to actually challenge the Crusaders in this match. Then for the Crusaders, they've been the leaders for the tournament for most of the season, but the last few games they have not been that great. If you think about it, their season 11 from 16, but in their last 6 games they've only won 3 games. When you get and 2 draws against the Sharks and the Stormers. When you compare that record to the Highlanders last 6 games they have 2 wins from 6, but they also got 2 draws in there as well, meaning the 2 recent records are pretty similar for the 2 teams. The away record for the Highlanders, that's the one that would alarm them. Their away record is 2 from 8 for the season, so it is not a good record to have, where the Crusaders have this record of never losing at home when playing in a playoff game ever, while they're also undefeated at home in any type of match under the leadership of Robertson. Both teams went with their strongest teams. The Crusaders, they went with the all black front row for the first time this year as far as I have it. Moody, Franks and Taylor in the front row, where the Highlanders, for them, I actually was surprised with Ben Smith being back. I thought his season was probably over. He also probably thought so, but they will really use his leadership in this game. I have to back the Crusaders though for this one. They are at home, they are very strong, they've been better than the Highlanders the entire season, so I think they'll win by 15. If the Highlanders do get something right, I think most people will be pretty happy with the season just being shaken up a little bit. Something interesting happening for a change with who's going to win the competition. Next up, the Chiefs travel over to Buenos Aires. The Jaguares versus the Chiefs over there. If you go on recent record, the Jaguares has a 5-game winning streak, and from their last 10 games they have won 9 of them. The records for the Chiefs though, they have won 4 out of their last 5 games, so also pretty similar to the Jaguares' most recent form. Home record for the Jaguares, 6 out of 8. The Chiefs won't be happy with their away record though, 3 from 8, but one of those wins was this year against the Jaguares by 3 over in Buenos Aires. The Jaguares, they have a home record of 6 from 8 though. Like I said, they've lost against the Chiefs over there, and back in the first round they also lost against the Lions. The Chiefs, they've had massive injuries this season, but they have the likes of Kane, Retallick, Anton Leonard-Brown and Weber in the team at the moment, so it is pretty good. They have a lot of leadership and force with those players. Anton Leonard-Brown, he's been in amazing form and he just gives that busting runs that he always does. Mostly the rest of the team is a young team, but I think they can do it. They've shown in the last couple of weeks what they are capable of. For the Jaguares, their team is out. They are fielding Matera, Levanini, Creevy, Boffelli and my favorite of all, Orlando. As you know, if you've been with the channel for a while, he is one of my favorite centers in the competition. The Jaguares, they've utilized kicking great this season. They like putting teams under pressure in their own half, where other years they would have tried to run with the ball every single time they got it. Their kicking is so much, they are actually leading the competition for in-game kicks. And this game, I just see them playing with so much passion in front of that home crowd. I see the Jaguares winning by 2. But it's going to be an amazing game and I'm going to stay awake for this one. It's being played on Saturday morning 12:05 over here, so I'm gonna have to stay up late for this one. Next up, it's the Hurricanes versus the Bulls. The Hurricanes, they are probably clear favorites for this one. Their season record 12 from 16. They've won 8 of their last 10 games versus the Bulls is 4 out of their last 10. Well, the Bulls, they didn't tour too badly. They just came back from tour actually. They only had one game back at home and now they're back in New Zealand again. They had 2 draws over in New Zealand against the Blues and the Highlanders, but not one of those teams are the Hurricanes though. So they are a bit stronger to my books, but you never know. The Bulls do have a strong team. The two teams didn't play to thus far this year. The last time the Bulls won in Wellington is back in 2011. But for this game, as I have it, Pollard and Creel are gonna play in this game. That makes their midfield quite strong. They have to work on that fringe defense though. The Bulls, the last couple of weeks, the defense over on the wings have been letting them down. The Bulls, they could be pretty tired after all the traveling they've been doing, and they arrived late in New Zealand this week as well. They only arrived on Wednesday, where the Hurricanes, they rested most of their big names last week. Most of them only played from the bench against the Blues. In the video, I picked my player of the year, which will be linked up here. There are 2 videos though. There were so many candidates from the Hurricanes. Guys like Savea, Barrett's, both Barrett's though, Laumape, and actually now Coles, he's also in good form as well. And he is starting in this game. But for me, I think the Hurricanes will win by 9. Then we head over to the last quarter-final being played in Australia, the Brumbies versus the Sharks. The Brumbies, they are on a 6-game winning streak, where the Sharks, they've only won 2 games out of their last 6 matches. The Sharks, they just qualified last week versus the Stormers, just there at the end. I still cry myself to sleep when I think about that. But it was not a convincing win from the Sharks. They attacked a lot in that game, but they just could not get through the defense of the Stormers, which was actually not that good. They actually missed 25 tackles to my books, the Stormers. So if the Brumbies are anything better than that, they will keep the Sharks out a lot. The Sharks, obviously, they broke through at the end, but that was just an overlapping situation. They're gonna have to play very hard in this one. The home record for the Brumbies, 7 out of 8 this season. The last time they lost at home was back in round 1 against the Rebels. The away record for the Sharks, 4 out of 8. So it's not that bad actually for a South African team. They beat the Sunwolves, the Waratahs, the Lions and the Stormers away from home. So yeah, I know everyone's been saying they've been great away from home. But if you look at those 4 teams, it's not actually massive away victories. The biggest thing they did is they got a draw against the Crusaders in the season in Christchurch. As I sit here at the moment, the team is not available yet, so I don't know who's playing, but as far as I have it, Bosch is not available for this weekend. Sharks fans, just let me know. You probably know a little bit better. And last week, they just really missed a guy to challenge the back line of the Stormers. And Bosch is that guy. He challenges the line and gets gaps around him. There's still no beast for the Sharks either. Up front, the strength they'll have to bring from Andrews and Dan de Pree, who has been playing really well this season, those 2 players. For the Brumbies, Falau Fahinga and Arnold, they've been great up front as well. In the back line, Lealifano, he has been good. We know he's retiring at the end of the season, or not retiring, he's going to Japan, so he's going out of Australian rugby, so he's gonna want to give his best for that team that he is captaining. Kuridrani and Spate in the backline, they've been on fire in some of the games. Sometimes you just forget the Brumbies backline even exists. But for me, I'll probably go for another home victory, making it 4 out of 4 at home for the quarterfinals. I think the Brumbies will win by 11. So yeah, according to my predictions, no South African teams will make it through this round. If they do, I would be very happy, so we could hope that I'm wrong. But going how the seasons have went, the South African teams probably don't deserve to actually go further. But it's about what you do now. It's not about how the season went. That's already by. Tell me what you think about the weekend's picks. You can check out the rest of the videos here on my right or on your left. And remember, as I said, I am going on leave for a week, but I'm going to try my best to post a video next week recapping the quarterfinals. Remember to subscribe if you like the content. I really appreciate it. Cheers.